Hey, is your leadership stuck in the Stone Age? Join us today on Top Dog Tips, where we uncover the top challenges business face when it comes to leadership recruitment and discover some of the modern strategies for successful selection. Joining us today is Rick Vogel, the founding principal of the Vogel Group, who's a leading authority on modern leadership recruitment, who's going to share his unique insights into the whole process. Enjoy. Hello, Rick. Welcome to Top Dog Tips.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me.
So, Rick, today we're diving into the topic critical for any organization's success, and that's leadership recruitment. So let's face it, finding the right leader can make all the difference in the world. So, Rick, what are some of the most common mistakes you see organizations make when it comes to searching for new leaders?
I see a lot of mistakes, Greg, but a few of the ones that really come top of mind that I see most frequently. Number one is unrealistic expectations. There's a lot of expectations going into a recruitment. Compensation. What is the market for the role they're looking to recruit to? Talent. Is it local? Is it outside? Do they have to relocate? What do the demographics look like? So just basic expectations, whether they're realistic or unrealistic for that role within the market. Another mistake I see often, especially if the position is to replace a long-term employee, a long-term leader, and that is looking to clone or just replace the person that's been there for 10, 15, 20 years. That's a big mistake that a lot of organizations make. A person that's been there a long time, help them get there. But they should be looking for what do they need to get them to that next step, that next level, that next stage of the organization. So just trying to replace or replicate or clone the person who left is a big mistake. And I think the third is expectations on time. It takes time to assess leadership style, leadership fit. Many organizations make the mistake of hiring on competency and firing on fit. To find that fit, just like it's going to take time to interview a pool of candidates to find that perfect fit for that leadership role, it takes time for us to assess candidates to present to the client that will be the right fit.
Yeah. Everybody's got great potential until you're about 6 months into the gig, right?
You're right. Yes.
Okay, great. Those are some great insights, Rick. So, hey, listen, we talked about the advantages of working with recruiters, especially for leadership searches. But as you mentioned, not all recruitment firms are created equal. So to ensure they're partnering with the right fit, what are some of the warning signs companies should look out for when evaluating potential recruitment partners?
I think there's a few. I think number one, especially when you're recruiting a leader, watch out for what I call the post and pray kind of recruiters. Those are the people who they're going to generate leads by posting. And in today's world with technology, you can post around the globe within a blink of an eye, and it's everywhere. And then hope the right people see it, submit their resumes, and become candidates. That will attract active candidates. It's not hard to find the people who are looking for their next opportunity. They will always respond. But there's passive candidates. And the best candidates in our experience come from those who are not unhappy where they are, but they're attracted to something about the opportunity you're presenting. And that takes reaching out, contacting people, presenting the opportunity, and having conversations. So you do research. We have a database. We reach out, touch people on the shoulders, present the opportunity, and have a conversation about fit, about their skill, about their suitability and their match. So that's really important to avoid that post and pray. You also get industry expertise. Typically, if the recruiter or the recruitment firm has been around for a while, they will have been in your sector. They will have recruited to that functional role in the past. That brings two things. Number one, the ability to help the client see what they need to go forward, which is not always what they think they want. And number two, having that experience, miles on the tires in that area, helps assess the skills, the talent, the experience on the candidate side. I think the third thing would be time and cost. Sure, you can do the posting yourself and put it out there. That doesn't mean it's always going to be cheaper. If your posting attracts hundreds of resumes in today's market with how widespread posting can be, that can be the case. Who's going to look, who's going to read and assess all of those resumes? Who's going to decide who's going to do a first interview of those people? When you start up adding the person hours within an organization to do it yourself to save money, the man hours add up, and it can often be far more than whatever fee you're going to pay a recruiter to focus in on what your organization needs for that role.
Yeah. A lot of these, the reality is if you're going to be doing it, taking on a do-it-yourself role, you're going to do it off the side of your desk when you've got time. And I think I've seen a TikTok video, and ain't nobody got time for that.
That's right. Yeah. The corner of the desk is there for a reason. Nothing should be on the corner. It should be front and center on the desk.
Hey, that's great advice, Rick. Identifying the right recruitment partner can make all the difference in a leadership search. So for our listeners who might be considering going down this route, what are some of the best practices companies can follow to choose the ideal partner to participate in their leadership search?
I think there's a few steps that should be taken when you're looking to partner up with a search firm. And we use the word partner as opposed to just being hired by an organization. We believe partnering with the client is the way to go. The way you find your best partner, first, find out the areas, the sectors, the positions. What's the track record? What's the experience of the search firm you're dealing with? Do they have experience in your sector, in your functionality? Can they back it up, and will they provide references for that work? So you're looking for someone who doesn't just say they've done the work, but can prove that they've done the work and have done the work well. The second is ask a lot of questions about the process, the methodology, on how they're going to go about and execute the recruitment for you. What does the timing look like? What are the steps? What are the deliverables? What are the expectations for that process? And it should be a very well-disciplined, structured, methodical process to get to that pool of candidates at the end. And I think part of that methodology is really the third. That's the communication of the process. Within that methodology, there should be a clear deliverable on communication so that you know where you are in your search at any given time. You're not wondering. What's happened often is search firms get hired and they disappear. Now, they might be working for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but if you don't communicate that to the client, they're wondering, where are they? What's happening? What are they doing? So you want regular, thorough, transparent, concise reporting throughout the process so you can anticipate any issues that come up and just monitor it as you go along.
Yeah, that's critical. It's so frustrating. I've been in the position where I've engaged recruiters. I've got, critical searches going on. I've got gaps to fill and crickets. Are they working? Are they not working? I don't know. So I love your communication style and approach. So thanks, Rick. Those are some great insights. So you've outlined, some key considerations to company looking to partner with recruitment firms, again, for their leadership searches. So why don't you share with us a little bit about the Vogel Group's approach, specifically what sets your team apart when it comes to leadership recruitment?
I think there's a few things. I mean, there's only so many ways you can slice this loaf of bread called recruitment, but there are some things that we believe we do differently that result in a higher quality candidate pool for our clients. Number one, the upfront work in understanding the client's needs. It's one thing to get handed a job description that the client has drafted, maybe with the help of a senior leadership team or the HR department. But we take that and then we sit down with them in the same way that the client has to get to know the candidates in order to hire one of them. We need to get to know our client. What are the advantages? What are the benefits of being with that organization? What are the challenges that they're facing? What are the warts? What are the issues that there's been in the past? What's the culture of the organization? We really need to understand that. So we do a lot of upfront work in getting to know our clients really, really well, because we need to take the story to the market in not just a compelling manner, but it has to be accurate. We also do that proactive, that post and pray we talked about earlier. We just don't do that. We do post it on our website, on our client's website, but that's not where we're going to get the candidates from. We conduct research. We have a proprietary database after having done this for over 17 years. We have a very robust proprietary database. We use that. And we do research. We do industry research. Social media, we use conference and industry research. And we find potentially qualified people. And then we reach out and we put opportunities in front of them and we have those conversations. So we're very proactive in going out and finding potential candidates. Right. And the third is we don't have junior people on the team. And I think that's important to ask when you're assessing a search firm that you want to work with. Who is going to do the work? The Vogel Group, we don't have junior people. If it's me, if it's France in my office, if it's Tracy in Hamilton, whoever you're working with is a seasoned, experienced, senior leadership recruiter. And we are with our clients every step of the way. We are doing the research up front, that upfront work we talked about. We're doing the research, the assessment, the interviews with our client, the references, the weekly reporting. We take on fewer clients at any given time. We're quite selective in who we work with. But I think what we have learned is we do deliver a better quality candidate pool to our clients.
Well, that's fantastic to hear, Rick. Building trust and strong relationships is definitely key in the recruitment process, especially when it comes down to finding leadership positions. So speaking of successes, you mentioned the Vogel Group's strong track record. Can you share a specific example of how your approach helped the client overcome a leadership challenge?
Well, to be honest with you, Greg, every time we get engaged, there's a leadership challenge. Nobody calls us with the easy recruitments. They're always a bit of a challenge. But one comes to mind, a recent one. There is an Alberta municipality that needed a chief administrative officer, the city manager for their municipality. And they had a rough 5 to 7 years. They had quite a revolving door on CAOs for a number of reasons. At the time that I was engaged, those reasons did not exist anymore. There were some people within the organization who were no longer there, which improved things. The culture was better, but the reputation of the organization was one that you don't want to work there. So that was a real challenge in the market. So I spent a lot of time really understanding what caused the problems, what had they done recently to fix the problems, and that was not out there in the marketplace and reputation. And so then going to market, it wasn't just, hey, this opportunity is available. It's answering the questions and confronting the bad reputation. There's an old saying that bad news travels around the world before good news gets out of bed. So the bad reputation was still hanging around. Nobody knew about the changes. And I'm very pleased to say that I just finished helping that organization do the first year performance evaluation of the CAO, and it is outstanding. And I happened to be at a municipalities conference yesterday here in Edmonton and got to meet with both the CAO and a few of the council members, and they're ecstatic. In fact, a few other municipalities came up to me when they found out that I helped that municipality hire that city manager. So it was a great result, but it took a lot of work to get through that.
Wow, it's a great story, and just really illustrates the downside or the folly of trying to do it themselves. Right? You're trying to do it off the bat. It's hard to change your reputation from the inside. You need a skillful third party person such as yourself out there telling your story for you. So great outcome, great story. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
So shifting gears a little bit, Rick, we've talked before, and to me, your background is fascinating. You've transitioned from athletics to recruitment. So what inspired that shift, and how did your athletic experiences prepare you for success in the new field?
Well, I can't explain why sports has always been so important to me, but it really has been from a very young age. The first half of my life in sports, it was the typical school sports, basketball, volleyball. I played football, but track and field is where I excelled, and I competed nationally and internationally. And the second half of my life, it's been in triathlon, and I've been fortunate to compete nationally and internationally there. But the transition or the dots that connect, I believe, from sports to almost any business, to almost any profession, but that I've brought into being a business owner and a recruiter, I think it's discipline. I think it's commitment to do the little things every single day. In any sport you pick up, you don't go from having never done it to being an expert overnight. It takes doing little things every day consistently, always looking for improvement, always willing to look in the mirror. How can we improve that? Those are some of the things that we do here on a regular basis. We're competitive. We really like to win, and we win when our client thanks us and tells us what a great new person they have on their team and they're making a big difference to their organization. So that competition, that discipline, that training, that pursuit of excellence is what I've brought from sports into this business.
Thanks for that, Rick. Everybody faces challenges in life. You've overcome some significant physical hurdles yourself. So can you share how those experiences shaped your perspective on leadership in the industry and your approach to life?
Sure. I was born with a deformed left leg. My leg grew crooked. It grew too quickly, and I had a club foot with a fused ankle. So that first half of my athletics career with the basketball, volleyball, football, and track and field, I did with a deformed leg. The second half was a result of having to have my left foot amputated. When I was 27 years old, 6 months after getting married, I developed an infection from all the sports being done and breaking down the tissue, and it went septic. And after having my left foot amputated, that's when I took up triathlon. So I think, yeah, there have been challenges, but everybody faces challenges in their life, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional and mental health, whether it's marital, whether it's family, whether it's health. I think we all have challenges. I don't think one challenge is harder than the next. It's understanding that in order to accomplish success, I believe, you have to overcome something. There has to be an obstacle to get through, to get over, in order to be able to look in the mirror and say, you were successful doing that. And so I've been fortunate to have done that in sports and in business. But I think we all have that. We all have that in us. We have to understand that the obstacles in front of us create the opportunity for that success.
Thank you for those insights and the stories. And you know what, Rick, I just got to say, you truly are inspirational. I just feel myself uplifted and challenged and motivated when I speak to you. So again, I hope that transfers to the audience, but if it doesn't, it works for me. So thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Greg. It's nice to hear. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Listen, so for our listeners who might be facing a leadership search in the near future, what's the one key takeaway you want them to remember about considering working with the Vogel Group?
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a bumper sticker, but I would say we really do care. We don't just see our role of putting a warm body into an empty chair. We really care about what difference that person you hire is going to make to your organization. We take it personally. 50% of our business is repeat business, so our clients come back to us. I think it's because we show that care. It's genuine, it's authentic, and we're not everything to everybody. There are certain areas of recruitment that are probably not in our sweet spot, but we encourage, call us, talk to us. If it's in our sweet spot, we'd love to partner with you. If it's not in our sweet spot, we'll point you in the right direction and we'll find you the right people that'll help you.
Thanks, Rick. Again, for our listeners who want to learn more about the Vogel Group and how they can help build their dream leadership team, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
All of our communication, all of our contact information is on our website. It's at thevogelgroup.ca. You can contact us through there. I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there. My email is on our website as well. Our phone number in Edmonton is 780-665-4965. And happy to have a conversation, answer any questions, or just even clear up some of the things we've talked about today. If you want more details, happy to have that chat.
Great. Well, thanks again, Rick, for joining us on Top Dog Tips. It's been incredibly insightful.
My pleasure, Greg. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Okay, well, catch you next time for another episode of Top Dog Tips, no BS business advice. If you like it, share, comment, follow, talk to your friends. If you don't, keep it to yourself. Take care.